All right, time for this day in history and a look back at April 29, 1939. That's when the National Broadcasting Company brought television to the world. Now, to understand why, we have to start with NBC's origins as a radio network 13 years earlier in 1926. That's when the Radio Corporation of America, better known as RCA, realized that the best way to sell radios was to make sure there was plenty of content for people to listen to. RCA partnered with GE and Westinghouse Electric to buy broadcast assets and launch the first permanent radio network in the country. Now, it was that same impetus of selling consumer electronics, along with the profits from NBC's radio business, that led RCA to push into technology and content for the television. NBC used the opening of the 1939 World's Fair in Queens, New York, to unveil its new technology, a short TV broadcast, very short, where RCA chief David Sarnoff gave a dedication of the RCA Pavilion at the fairgrounds. A day later, NBC Television began regularly scheduled broadcasts, and that included a speech by FDR. As big of a milestone as it was, no one actually watched it. They couldn't. NBC Television had only one station at the time in New York City, an area that at the time was estimated to have fewer than 1,000 TVs, most of which were in public spaces like bars and exhibition halls. But household adoption of the TV, it was about to take off. The FCC in 1941 authorized commercial broadcasting, which let TV networks run paid advertisements. The first ad ever, it was a 10-second commercial for Bulova watches that NBC charged $7 to run. The number of television sets steadily rose from fewer than 10,000 in the mid-1940s to more than 10 million by the early 1950s. And by the end of that decade, more than half of U.S. households owned at least one. It's estimated that no new invention entered U.S. homes faster. Today, of the more than 125 million households in the U.S., about 96% of them have a television. And that brings us to our question of the day. For all the content NBC aired over the past century, from Howdy Doody to I Dream of Jeannie to Cheers, what show has lasted more than any other? The answer, the Sunday morning talk show, Meet the Press. It made its debut back in 1947 and remains on air 77 years later. That's a longer run than any other show on any other broadcast network. That includes The Tonight Show. It includes Face the Nation. It even includes the soap opera Guiding Light, which are all age-wise still only in their 60s.